Hello everyone, I'm Ike. It's great to have you back. We've been doing this series on staff profile management system, which essentially is a system through which organizations, businesses or companies can have profiles for their staff members. Thus far we've created a login system, and we'll be going ahead to add functionality to permit the administrator add up new members or new staff members onto the system, and that's basically what we'll be doing today. Before we do that, I think I would love to take off this background image right here. It's really lame, so that's gonna define my starting point. I'm going to go into my choice editor, Sublime. In my CSS file, my main.css file, I'm going to take off this background image right here. Alright. Also, I'm going to locate in my images folder, I'm going to take off this BG image right here, since we no longer will be using it. That's been done. I think we're ready to hop into the process of creating functionality to add new members or new staff members to the system. So I'm going to create a new file, and I'm going to save this as, let's say, add member .php. Alright, make sure that this is in the spms folder, and I'm gonna save. For the markup, basically what we're doing here is in our container tags we are creating or opening a PHP tag. Now the essence for this is to check if actually a user is logged in, because if a user is not logged in, then he has no business accessing this page. So we're checking if a session is created with an ID of user. So if this session is created, we are now grabbing the session, the user which is created, and then echoing it out in this div. If not, we are redirecting the user to the sign out page or signing out the user. Well, I'm thinking this page is supposed to be visible only to the system administrator, because it is he only who should be able to create or add new members. Every other user should be able to edit their profile, but not add or create a profile. So we are going to check if it's set user, and if it's set $_session access, and $_access is equal to 1, which is the access level for system administrator. So in essence, all I'm doing here is checking if the session user is created and a session access is created, and this session access is equal to 1. If this is true, all of this is true, then we're ready to log, to grant access to this page. So that's been said. I'm going to save, and then we'll move on. Now all of these are not new. We actually added a div here with the logo image, then a h3 with the staff profile management system, which is the name of our, basically all of this right here, the logo, the name. Alright, now at this point we're creating a div, giving it an ID of add member. For now, no class. If there's a need, we're gonna add one, or I can just take this off. When the need arises, we create that. In this div, I'm opening a PHP tag. Now all I'm doing in this tag is to error check. If an error occurs at any point, we are going to log it out in this div here. I'm also creating a functionality to output success messages. For example, if we successfully create a user, the admin should be alerted via this div right here that the process was successful. That's what we're doing basically here. Alright, I'm going to take a minute to style this success div because we have styling for the error, which we did in our login page, but we haven't done. This is the first time we're encountering the success message, so I'm going to take our time and style it before we continue with this page. In my main.css, right under the error class, okay, which is right here, I'm going to add styling rules for the success class. Now everything is same as the error class except for these two, the background color and the text color. Every other thing is similar. Then I'm choosing to change this to 100%, no longer 80%. Alright, that's great. Looks good. I'm going to save and then come back to my add member page. Make sure that this is saved. So right here we are now adding a span, add new member, which is our subhead. Then we're opening a form. Now in our form we have about 4 input elements: a first name, a last name, a username, and an email. Then we are also having a select input type, which is for our access. The access level for the user which we are creating. For now we have just 2 access levels, one which is for system administrators and 2 which is for every other member. Should in case we encounter a need to create more access level, we're definitely gonna do that, but for now we're sticking with 2. Alright, then finally we have a submit button, and that's all for the markup of this page. Up top I've done the PHP which is going to handle the post. Once the submit button is clicked, we are going to post right back to this page. If you look closely in our form element, the action is coming back to the same page at member.php. At the top right here we are taking care of that. First of all, we are starting sessions because we would want to know that our user is logged in. We'll be using sessions. Next, we are including our connection file. Right here we're now going on to check if the submit button is clicked. So if it's set SBT, this is the ID for our submit button. Right here SBT_add member. So we're checking if it's set SBT_add member. We are now grabbing the first name from the first name text field, grabbing the last name, grabbing the username, grabbing the email, and then grabbing the access. We're now moving forward to check if these elements we've grabbed are empty. If they are empty, we are now outputting an error to the user, letting them know that all fields are required. Else, if all of these elements has content, we are moving forward to query our database. There isn't need for this guy right here, so I'm gonna take it off. Won't be needing to cache that into a variable. So we are querying our database, selecting everything from the members table where username is equal to the username which we've grabbed from the user input field. The essence for this, all we're trying to do right here is to check if this username that is being submitted via our form is available in the database. If the username has been used already, then we can't successfully create a new user, because the username field is supposed to be unique. So we are now checking to see that that username doesn't exist in the database. Alright, on this line right here, we are now checking to see if this query returned any results, to see the number of rows affected by this query. Now, if the number of rows is equal to 0, it means that that user doesn't exist on our system. So we can move forward to create the user. What I've done with the system is I'm given a default password of password. Later in the tutorial or later in the series, we are going to let the user by themselves change their password, but since the admin is creating the user account, since the admin is creating the user, we're just given a default password of password. Alright, so next up, we are now creating a query to insert into the members table all of this field which we've grabbed from the user input field or from our form, and then we are now going ahead to post out a success message bearing the username, the first name and the last name of the user which was added, of the user which was added. In essence, all we're saying is we are now going on to post out a success message saying that the first name and the last name was successfully added. For example, Steven Smith successfully added, something like that. Or else we just put out an error message saying that the user is unavailable, since this query, the first query up top, returned a row, meaning that the username exists in the system. Alright, that's everything we'll be doing. I'm going to save and then we'll head over to the browser. First of all, I'll refresh and I'm gonna log in with my credentials. We're in the index page, which we haven't created yet, but I'm going to navigate to the page we just created, which is add member.php. Alright, here we are. I'm gonna add a new member, John. Username John. Email address johndoe@gmail.com. Access level 2 and add member. John Doe successfully added by the corner there. Why is that? So our CSS not coming through. Main.css, we have success right here. Add member. Class success. Make sure everything is saved. Alright, head back to the browser and refresh. Add something. So this is level 2. Why is that? Equal to success. inspect this. As a class of success. But this class is not. Our error is perfectly working. User unavailable. It seems we already have some submits. But what's wrong with our success? Let me add a different user, another new user. So Daniel's username Sadi. Sadi@gmail.com. 652 add member. Oh, perfect. So I think everything is fine right now, but there is something I would love to do. I don't like all of this white space up here, so what I'm gonna do is take them off. In our main.css, I'm gonna remove all of this margin, unnecessary. Take this out. I think the other one is coming from the main logo here. I'm gonna take this out. Let's save and refresh, see what we get. Okay, cool. This is looking good, but I'd love to push these guys down a bit. I'd rather want to push. So first of all, I'm gonna make this gray color span through the whole page. So I'm going to remove it from my container class. Cut and paste it in the body elements. See? Then I'm also gonna push the container down a bit. Container. This is top, left, bottom. So from the top I'm gonna bring it 20 pixels. Let's see how it looks. How about 40? And then give the body elements a padding top of 50 pixels. See? I think I like it. Except for this guy right here. Do you think I should pull this guy down? I think I like it, it's fine. So our system is perfectly done, and that's everything we are going to be covering for this tutorial. I hope you had fun. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate to know that you guys are out there doing what you do. I want to encourage you to subscribe to the channel, make your comments, contribute actively, and be a part of this community. I've actually gone ahead to create a GitHub repository for this project, where I've uploaded all of the project files with regards to this series. Now you can easily go to GitHub and download this project, tweak it however you want, make corrections where you have made mistakes, or make relevant contributions to the project. If there are things you feel should be added, or if there are ways that you think we should have accomplished stuff, you can go ahead and make all those changes on GitHub. The way you can easily contribute on the project is to create a branch of your own from GitHub. I've uploaded a video on how to create a branch. It's a part of this series. You can just go through the playlist and you find that video. You create your branch and make your changes, then send in the pull request. I'm definitely gonna look into every request that comes in. Actually, I'm going to review those requests with you guys, and if they are worth committing, I'm going to commit them. So I really would urge you guys to actively partake in this project. I also would want to learn from your own experiences and wealth of knowledge, so do bring in your contributions. You can go ahead and like our videos and also share with like-minded people. Share with people that would want to know or would love to partake in what we do. Let's help grow this community so that we can all benefit from the knowledge of each other. We can all share ideas. Alright, thank you very much, guys. I'm done talking. It's like I've been blabbing, so I'm gonna go right now. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.